Hey, this is Danny Cards. I realized that I've never really shown my collection, and I'm not going to show everything, but basically, I wanted to go and show you some cards in a showcase I have behind me because I think it's like a snapshot in time. It represents my buying habits or collecting habits, and then I want to just kind of not get rid of all of it, but just put in new cards. But and before I do that, I figured, why don't I just show you what's there so you can just maybe, because I think when you get to see someone's collection, you get to see who they are or who they were, because there are definitely quite a number of mistakes in this showcase behind me. So let me show you what I have. Oh yeah, I got this light system. I don't know, I bought these on Amazon. It's not the best, but I just started with this. I think I bought these maybe on Costco. And then I bought these, and then I was like, that's not enough light. Let me try 3 rows. And that's why they're all different. But let's start with, so this is like all of it. And then here is the top left. So that's a penny refractor, PSA 9. I bought that, I think, early on in my Whatnot purchasing days. And it's kind of hard to get a good, view of it with all the lighting here. But yeah, it's a pretty cool card. Okay, so I tried holding up this case and the glare was bad and my arm was getting tired, so I decided to put the showcase on the ground. So this is really indicative of more of like my first year of coming back into the hobby, and not as much the kind of like last 6 months maybe, and also kind of like, cards I pulled as a kid. So let's start from here. That is a penny refractor from 96 Finest. Bought that raw on Whatnot, and it was one of my first purchases, and I think that's the type of card that kind of got me hooked into buying singles on Whatnot for a little bit, and I graded it and it became a PSA 9. It does not have a peel. It has a peel, it just doesn't have the peel, the peel where it says do not peel. These two, or these three, so are Kevin Durant. That's a regular, that's the refractor, and in the middle is a Russell Westbrook from Lineage. So the two bookends are like, well, not bookends, but like out of this whole thing, it's not bookend. But this is a, let me zoom in, and second year KD. I've been trying to get an orange of the Topps Chrome 2008, but I just haven't done it yet. But the left one, the base, I pulled as a young adult. The one on the right, I purchased, I think, on eBay. And the one in the middle, I pulled as a young adult as well. I have like a white motif going there. When I tried to do this, it was kind of like white on the top left, orange on the top right, blue-ish on the top bottom right. I don't know. And then what is it? Green on the top, on the bottom left. So anyway, let's proceed. Al Horford refractor. That is a card that I think I did pull and then I graded a PSA 9. That is a Steve Nash. So this little corner right here is kind of like the green area. Why do I say green area? Orange area. This video is a lot harder to shoot than I thought it would be. So I purchased, let's see, that one from someone who wanted to consign with me, and I was like, I'll just buy that off you, and then I graded it, got a 10. That one, I think, none of these were pack pulled by me. These were all either purchases on eBay or Instagram or at a, like a trade night. I think that was a trade night card. That one was raw and I graded it, got a 10. That's a 9 that I bought already as a 9. That one I bought on Facebook, I think, as a 9. And that Vince Carter, I can't remember where I bought it from, but maybe on eBay. I bought it as a 9. That's a PWCC purchase. Shaquille O'Neal Beam Team PSA 8. You could check the comp on that. I forget, maybe March of 2023 is when I bought it. So it wasn't like a peak, but also was, it's lost value, but it's okay. It's cool. Like, I remember pulling one of these as a kid. I don't know what happened to the raw copy, but I did pull this as a kid, and but that's not the one that I pulled as a kid. This one I pulled as a young adult, 2007 to 2008, SP game used, not numbered, but it is a full red game used fabric. Authentic fabrics is what they called it then. And you kind of lose a little bit of the jersey with that little A in the middle, but it's still. And I turned off the video because I'm holding this in the wrong way. Simone Biles gold. I bought this at a card shop. No, I'm sorry. I bought it at a card show from the card show promoter. He had this raw. This is the 2016 Topps Olympics. There's like a bronze, silver, gold versions, and I think even a rainbow. This one's the gold. It's not numbered. Bought it raw and I graded it and got a PSA 9. This one I pack pulled as a kid. It's a 97 Flair Showcase, Juwan Howard, Legacy Collection Row 0. The only one I ever pulled as a kid. And this one got a PSA 9, and it's out of 100. I've had some people interested in this card. I'm not a huge Juwan Howard fan. It's just that I pack pulled it as a kid, and it's hard for me to let go of cards like that. This one on the left, this Kobe Bryant, is my very first purchase on Whatnot, where I don't know, it's like I have regrets with a lot of things that I've purchased on Whatnot, but basically I don't have regrets on this. It's just that it reminds me, it was like my gateway back into the hobby, back into purchasing things online and whatnot. So this kind of this card kind of broke the seal. And at the time, I forget when I put that sticker, but I said it was population 31, 2 higher. These are just generally really hard to grade because it's like one of those pop out cards that they don't make anymore. But I thought it was a pretty cool card at the time. Never pulled this as a kid or anything like that. So I just thought, let me just buy it. And it was already graded a PSA 9. But yeah, just reminds me of some silly mistakes, which we're going to get to even more because we have that huge mistake that I'm going to get to in a little bit. This is a card that I pack pulled when I was like quote unquote a breaker. Did a terrible job breaking, so I didn't want to do it anymore. But that's, I think, out of 75. And then I graded it myself. This All Aces, I think I bought from at a card show, and then I graded it. And, these cards are really easy to gem in. I haven't seen a single PSA 9 of these, unless maybe it's a centering issue. But with those rounded corners, it's like, you remove corner and edge issues like right off the bat. Or not edge issues, but, the corner issues at least. This pack pulled as a kid. It's like 1 out of like 20,000 something packs. And then I graded it with BGS because I was told, kind of like with this, that you're supposed to grade autos and patches with BGS. This was like in 2022 when I was kind of like influenced by what people were saying. So anyway, it's not that I'm just glad that I got subgrades on it, and I'm glad that I got it graded just to encapsulate it. But I knew it was in poor condition because this was in a shoebox with me with a lot of moves and a lot of things like that. So I'm okay with the grade. It's not a big deal. I'm just glad I have the card, and I can't believe I pulled it as a kid. Not a huge Tim Hardaway fan, but just the fact that I was able to pack pull it was just like absolutely amazing, because I wasn't buying boxes and cases. I was literally just buying single packs. So this is one of my biggest mistakes on Whatnot. 2019 Prism Sakuya Doumbouya. I don't even know how much. I think I paid maybe like 10 to 20 bucks for it at the time. Base rookie. Again, terrible idea grading a base rookie card from Prism, especially of someone of this caliber. Even back then, even if you thought he had good chances, like, I don't know, like this, it's just not a great card. But it was cracked. I don't believe it was divulged by the seller, but again, that's buyer beware, so it's my fault. But all in all, like this, I called it crack ice, and I put the pop down there. It's crazy that there's this many cards graded at a, I forget what grade that is, probably a 9, but it says pop 386. higher, 5,339, and this was, I put that sticker on maybe like a year ago, but it just reminds me of the mistakes I made on Whatnot. And that's why I'm kind of like ready to like let this go, is I just don't want to like be reminded of my mistakes. It's just kind of like dwelling on the past. So it's time for me to like start afresh, start anew with my collection, or at least my showcase. What's, you know, the how many cards are in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 times 4 rows, 32 cards. I just want to have a different row of 30 case of 32 cards for my display. This card I purchased on eBay. It is a Tim Tebow Go Gators color wheel, kind of like Al Horford up here. Go Gators. But this one, I don't know. There isn't much of a story to it. Mainly, it's because it's a color wheel. I thought putting it near the center with all the other colors was a cool idea. Again, I'm ready for it to come off the wall in the showcase. This one means something to me because it is pack pulled, but it's a Jordan. The reason it's meaningful is that, I mean, I don't have many PSA 10 Jordans. This is a base card from a low end set, but just the fact that I was able to get a PSA 10, because you know, I'm one of those you know, conspiracy theorists who believes that there's like pop control with like Jordan cards. I mean, probably not anything for his base cards, but in general, his cards are so hard to gem, and that's why they fetch such a premium on the secondary market. These two cards, so that card right here, the Chris Paul, it is at a 10. It is a gold prism from Panini Select 2013. But there's a big dimple. The reason this card means something to me is I was early on in grading. I didn't see the dimple right there. Got a PSA 8, but it just reminds me of my earlier mistakes with grading, which again, I got to like shed that baggage and all that. LeBron James gold medalist PSA 9. There's nothing like baggage or bad about it. It's just that I did pull this as a young adult right before I left the hobby in 2012. And I just think it's a really cool card, especially with the Olympics coming up. But you know, that it's been on in my display case for a while, just because it's just a really cool card, and it's not numbered or anything like that. It's just a really cool card, I think. Let's go down here. More mistakes. So I gotta block the shade here, or the light. But I bought these when I had COVID, I think in May of 2023. But these were eBay purchases. That's a 6 and that's a 7. The reason they're meaningful in a way, and but you know, they were mistakes, is during COVID, you know, I was just sick, feverish, and I had, it was not a good idea for me to be purchasing anything online. But you know, I was like going in and out of fever dreams and just kind of like being out of my mind and like just medicated and just kind of like zoned out. But I bought both of these, thinking I, you know, bought just one, right? Like I bid on one, and then I won it, but then I didn't remember bidding on it and winning it, so I bought another one. So that's what this reminds me of, and you know, I think it's just silly. This one I pack pulled when I did my first ever trade night that I hosted. It was like a really cool time. It was in Alexandria, Virginia, and I pack pulled it from a box that I bought at a local card show in Annandale, Virginia. So that's why this card has meaning. Now, the interesting thing about this card is Topps was supposed to make these, you know, planetary pursuits kind of like more rare the further you got away from the sun. So, you know, Uranus being so far away from the sun, it's supposed to be one of the most rare, but apparently it's one of the more common, almost like a Mercury. And then like Venus was more rare, and like, I mean, it was just, everything was thrown out of whack. And so all the pack odds, you know, kind of throw those out the window. And you know, it's just a silly mistake that Topps made. I'm not gonna get super upset about it. Just being able to pull that card was a really cool moment. It was almost like pulling, you know, it was like one, it was supposed to be one out of like 20,000 something packs. So it kind of reminded me of when I pulled this, you know, as a kid. So that's why it's kind of cool to me. This one I pack pulled in my first ever like invite to like a rip party, not a trade night or like that, but it was like a new card friend's house. He invited me over to his house, and I just remember being so like skeptical. Like, you know, my wife was like, this person's gonna murder you, and I was like, you know, let me just give it a shot, let me give it a chance, but definitely have you know, check in on me every 30 minutes. But you know, it was an awesome time. And I remember pulling this, and this is the same night when I was trying to make a deal with one of the people at the house, and I just dropped the card, and that, you know, because I was trying to show it on Instagram, and that's when the deal was never materialized, because I had completely dinged the card by having it fall to the ground. But yeah, I graded it, and it got a 10. This one is a interesting card to me because I bought the card raw at the National last year in 2023 in Chicago. And then instead of bringing it home with me, I graded it with Arena Club, who was there on site. You know, I've worked with them in the past. I've kind of partnered and collaborated with them. And it was sitting in my showcase for a while, and then I asked for the card to be shipped back to me. But, you know, I think that's just a really cool card. You know, there's like, yeah, Kobe and Jordan have cards, and Ray Allen. I have a Ray Allen one that I pack pulled as a kid, but this one I purchased at the National, and it got a 9. This one is meaningful to me, not because it's any sort of expensive card. None of these really are. Like, I can't even think of a single card here that's worth more than. Well, we're gonna get to the Shooting Star Refractor, I guess, but none of them were more than like, I don't know, $200. I don't think. So anyway, this was my first ever like win of the Whatnot like random giveaway wheel. Like, someone was, you know, trying to keep people in the room, and they did the giveaway, and I was just like so excited because it was a free PSA 10, you know, rookie. I don't even collect much football, but like Chase Claypool, like I have no affinity towards Chase Claypool whatsoever. I have no affinity, like, you know, this is back when I thought a PSA 10 of anything was like the best thing in the world, and it reminds me of kind of like the mistakes that I made early on in the hobby. So again, it was in my showcase to remind me of that, but I am ready to let it go. Now we get to these two cards. I can't remember which one is which, but basically, like, one of these I bought on eBay. One of them I made in a trade with my card post with Mark Hill, the owner, for some, you know, like ultra modern football that was maybe more liquid for him. And I thought it was a very fair trade, but I'm so glad to have gotten it. I think it was the Refractor, PSA 8. And then the PSA 9 non-refractor is one that I think I bought on eBay, Facebook. And so those two I just thought were cool looking together, and kind of like holding down the fort with, like, you know, blue color background. So I think next time I do a showcase, yeah, it's going to be reflective of my buying habits and hobby collection for, you know, 2024. And maybe I'll rotate them, and maybe I'll do more of these type of videos. Let me know if you like this type of video, because I know definitely for my Instagram following, I've never showed this. I showed some of these cards like in posts, but I've never done a video like this where I showed like the entire like showcase. And, you know, I have like other displays and things like that, but this one is like kind of like indicative or representative of, again, like me as a hobbyist in 2022, 2023. So I just wanted to show this. You know, thank you so much for watching. You know, leave in the comments, let me know which one was your favorite out of all of these. You know, I don't think any of these are available for trade or sale. But, you know, I just wanted to kind of show this because it's time for me to put some new cards in here and kind of like let go of the baggage and let go of, like, you know, that the feelings I have about like the past with my kind of like embarrassing purchases on Whatnot and when I had COVID and things like that. So thank you so much for watching. You guys have a great day.